to my left, from Maryville, Quebec, weighing in at 219 pounds, Mr. Wrestling, Kevin Steen.
Steen giving the finger here for his first ever IWS title shot.
And in the corner to my right, from Montreal, Quebec, he weighs in at 245 pounds. That is the current reigning and defending Internet Wrestling Syndicate Champion, PCO, Pierre Carolina.
Look at the shape. PCO in the best shape of his career, in the best shape of his life, in that singlet with the codpiece over his genitals. Ready to defend his title in this 2 out of 3 falls match with Kevin Steen, a spoiled brat, but one hell of a wrestler.
Match is underway. 2 out of 3 falls to determine who will walk away with the IWS Championship, Beef. And like you just said, brash, this spoiled brat Kevin Steen, last month turned on Pierre Carolina, let's face it, his mentor, his best friend in this business, Beef.
Well, PCO had a lot to do with Kevin's upbringing in wrestling and Kevin's haircut. Into the post, PCO just abusing Kevin Steen early on after Steen tried to avoid it, PCO.
Again, Kevin Steen, as you mentioned, this is his first IWS Championship shot. Welcome to the main event, Kevin, as you just got thrown into the first 5 rows by Pierre Carolina, who clearly has the power advantage, Beef.
PCO at 245, a mountain of muscle, launches Steen into the first few rows. Kevin obviously not liking it as he tells our fans what they can do.
As a matter of fact, the fans are the ones that named this guy Mr. Wrestling Kevin Steen. Sure, he has an ego, but it's because the fans have been behind this guy for the last several months. He had a great match with Kurt Lauderdale last month, proved he could go one-on-one with a big man as he just gets launched back first into that post by another big man.
Well, Kevin Steen trying to mount some offense on PCO, thus far not having a lot of luck. Kevin Steen's arrogance maybe getting the better of him.
PCO throws Kevin Steen back into the ring now. Again, 2 out of 3 falls. Tell you what, Kevin Steen has any shot of becoming the IWS champion, he better take the first fall, and he better try to take it quick as he just ran into a brick freaking wall.
Kevin Steen's got to rely on his speed and his youth, trying to outlast PCO. Want to hit him quick, want to hit him early, and get PCO breathing heavy in the first opening of this match.
IWS main event here to crown the champion. What a power slam from PCO, as he is currently the defending IWS champion. Won that title back at Praise the Violence from the one-man war. The Arsenal had a great title defense against XS69 last month at Violent Valentine. Whips Kevin hard into the ropes and just falls up to that elbow.
Absolutely. PCO, you know, came into the IWS, brought in by yours truly to help me a little bit. You know, I had some problems with some assholes. But PCO came in, got a great ovation from the fans, and the love that the hardcore soldiers have had for Carl Ouellet just getting bigger and bigger by the month. And with his new catchphrase, look at the shape, PCO now may be the most popular man in Canada.
You're absolutely right, as he just completely countered on Mr. Wrestling, has him perched up on his shoulders, has already rammed them once into that turnbuckle, and counters it up with a nice running power slam. And as you said, great point to make on you, PCO, he's not the Pirate, he's not the Quebecer. Absolutely, that's how most people would remember Pierre Carolina, but he is repackaged, reshaped, and look at the shape. No, well, pun intended, there you go.
Kevin Steen finally getting an opportunity, saw his opportunity, and took it. But Kevin Steen trying everything he can to get some offense in on PCO.
Has him up, could be the sit-out choke slam, loves to use that move. That's one of the first covers of this matchup. There was a couple before that. One of the first moves that could have taken the first fall, clearly for Pierre Carolina. But back to the repackaging, you're going to see some stellar offense from Pierre Carolina. Of course, still loves to implement that look cannonball, one of the stiffest top rope flips from a man his size, as Kevin just speared after he was flipped upside down in the corner.
If I'm not mistaken, he's going to follow that up with his patented jackhammer.
No, that's the wrong guy.
No, and then he yells, "Who's next?"
No, that's the wrong guy. Please, one more line and we'll have to pay. Kevin launched up into the Raptors. There's the toss-up powerbomb. PCO with the cover and gets the first fall.
Can we get a replay on? Thank you, Guppy, for that official announcement. PCO quickly getting a first fall on the young Kevin Steen, and things are not looking good for Mr. Wrestling. Dumped on the back of his neck like he deserves.
Look at that powerbomb. Clearly got a decisive first fall. Wow, so quick. About 5 minutes into this matchup, Beef, Kevin Steen has already had the odds against him, and now it's 1-0. Mr. Steen better start mounting some type of offense or some type of strategy, because so far everything has been nullified against PCO.
All PCO early on in this one, but you got to think Kevin Steen, being the arrogant young man that he is, having the Luther Reigns haircut that he has, challenges PCO to 2 out of 3 falls, thinking not only can I pin him once, I'm gonna pin him twice.
Oh.
And now Kevin's got a big task at hand, down 1-0 in this match.
Could have been playing possum, as I forgot to mention. There will be 30-second rest periods between falls. As you saw, Kevin Steen did use that opportunity, got the wind knocked out of him, but obviously got a second win perhaps, and maybe put a little bit of possum. Hey, this guy has had a meeting before with Bret the Hitman Hart, who claims to say in his mind that he could be the next great thing. We won't say the catchphrase.
Right. Kevin Steen, I think, making it up personally, trying to sound tough that Bret Hart said these things about him. But let's face it, Kevin Steen finally being smart in this match, attacking the leg. I would attack the eye. Attacking the leg of PCO, the bigger and stronger and better looking man.
Per Carolette, WWE 3-time tag team champion, WCW hardcore champion, Germany, Mexico, Japan, all over Canada, all over the United States, you name it. He's been a champion somewhere. Oh, just the nose. Oh.
The fans are chanting Kabashi for those Kenta Kabashi-like chops, and here... Oh, Guppy, let's just listen to that. I enjoy hearing Kevin in pain.
Stinging. Absolutely stinging. Oh, he's lifting up the shirt.
There's the shirt over the head of Kevin Steen, exposing the beautiful belly. I'm not gay.
Maybe his patented chops. Echoing, bellowing here throughout the medley. Oh, what a right hand.
He attacked the eye, Guppy. He went after the eye. Smart move.
Oh, PCO returned the favor on, I would almost call him his protege, as both PCO's trained guys like Kevin Steen, and as well you Beef Wellington, Kid Kamikaze, and several other individuals here in the IWS. And this is personal. Kevin Steen dropped PCO, let go of his arm, his left arm. You heard PCO.
16 hours into... Oh!
Look at that guillotine leg drop. That's classic PCO. I mean, 245 on the neck of Kevin Steen. This one's over.
Kevin finding it somewhere to kick out. Now, if we can for a second, I'm going to go back to what you were saying about our days training with Jacques Rougeau and PCO. Now, Kevin going back to the leg, and he's landing on his feet. Oh, there we go. PCO landing on his feet, but feeling the effect still.
Left knee buckling, and there's that patented running enziguri from Mr. Wrestling. Kevin Steen wants to capitalize on PCO, and a spinning leg drop to the back of the head of the IWS champion. There's a cover.
Not enough for the pin. Now, Guppy, PCO, a big mentor to all of us. We were young, up and coming in wrestling, and PCO was very helpful. Kevin Steen, not exactly appreciative of some of the help PCO had to offer. To his face, very nice. Behind his back, Kevin Steen said some very unkind things. Now, far be it from me to, be a shit disturber, but, I think Kevin's getting exactly what he deserves here against PCO.
Well, let me tell you, they do have history. Wow, look at that power. Mr. Wrestling showing power with that overhead belly-to-belly suplex. Gotta tell you, there's another cover. Senior official Peanut assigned to this matchup. We needed a ref with his, of course, credentials, as Kevin Steen doesn't show any respect. But let me tell you, this is officially the second time Kevin Steen has been in the ring with PCO. Back in October, him El Generico. Wow.
Release German suplex by Steen. That's power going for the pinfall.
Jeez.
Only a 2 count, Guppy.
As I said, they definitely had a great three-way match at Blood, Sweat, and Beers back in October, where there was some type of respect for Kevin Steen. And I tell you, for trivia purposes, Kevin Steen's second match here in the IWS. But now, last month at Violent Valentine decides that he needs to be in the main event. Why? Kevin was climbing up the ladder, wrestling like Eddie, Generico, and getting these victories as he springboards and levels PCO with 2 feet and could be getting the second fall right here. And PCO kicks out again, Beef.
Kevin Steen finding it's not as easy to get a pin on PCO as he might have expected. Nonetheless, Kevin Steen finally putting in a showing to show the IWS fans why he's being called Mr. Wrestling. For all you new fans in the States who don't know Kevin Steen, this is an introduction.
There's that vicious patented combination from Pierre Carwillette. We've seen that before. Running clothesline into a DDT. Nowhere to go, nowhere to hide. And I thought PCO might retain the title there as all the wind seemed to be knocked out of Mr. Wrestling.
Yes, Mr. Wrestling's head introduced to the canvas. I'm out of funny jokes. That's as good as it's going to get from here on in.
Mr. Wrestling, Kevin Steen, of course, becoming an international flavor as well. Again, in JAPW and CZW. Oh, man. Decapitates him with a backside beheading and levels him with a release German suplex. Look at that again, B.
See the clothesline to the back of the head, and just like Steen did earlier, a release German suplex folding Kevin Steen in half. Wow, I gotta say, if Steen kicks out of this one, I'll be very surprised.
PCO could be walking away with the title here again. No, he doesn't. One of the bigger athletes in the IWS, built like a heavyweight, but as you could see, it's not my words, it's not Beef words. This match shows he can move like a cruiserweight. If you see that cannonball, spectacular move as the Arsenal paid for way back when, as we've seen before. PCO.
Steen back to the leg on PCO, going up for, other than mine, possibly the nicest moonsault in wrestling.
This. Time freezes, lands perfectly, perfect landing, second fall of Steen perhaps. No, kicks out. What a picture perfect moonsault, no exaggeration.
No, like I said, other than mine, the best in wrestling. Kurt Angle, S.A. Rios, Beef Wellington, and Kevin Steen. Package pile driver attempt, call it, Guppy.
Package pile driver, looks like he could do it here. That's a vicious pile driver. As you can see, the arms and legs not protected as Kevin Steen back body dropped to counter that move.
Yeah. Guppy, I gotta tell you, PCO's gotta be wary of that package pile driver.
Whoa! Press slam just dumped him on his head. Beef, what do we just see here?
Just said what we saw. Press slam right on his head, dumped him into the turnbuckle, and landing on the back of his head. PCO should be going for a pin. If I could just say what I was going for before, last month at Violent Valentine, Kevin Steen putting PCO in the hospital with that package pile driver.
For 16 hours, I may add, as Kevin Steen wisely puts his foot on the ropes. Absolutely. PCO is not just randomly attacked, randomly injured by a hungry contender after his title. He realizes the champion has a target on his back. This is his best friend next to Sid Vicious, as we all know in the IWS. But Kevin Steen just counters with a super kick. PCO is knocked out. He just got him with the super kick.
Kevin Steen.
The winner of the second fall, Kevin Steen.
Kevin Steen getting a pin on PCO with a super kick and then pausing to give the finger to the fans. Always the consummate professional, Kevin Steen.
Kevin Steen now will have a rest period. There will be a rest period for both of these individuals for 30 seconds. Kevin Steen just tied this crucial fall because now, essentially, the third fall, it's a sudden death scenario, Beef.
That's it. Kevin Steen not wanting the rest period. He wants to stay on top of PCO. Possibly a smart strategy. I would stop to bake a cake.
Are you serious?
This will be the last and deciding fall.
There's always time for cake, Guppy, even in a championship match like this. Kevin Steen, now the 30 seconds are over. What are you waiting for, Kevin? Get back on him.
Kevin Steen could become the IWS champion, and I might add perhaps, if not the youngest IWS champion in history, as he is definitely battling a veteran of this sport.
PCO in his early 30s, in the best shape of his career. Kevin Steen, if you can't tell, you might not be able to see by looking at him, only 19 years old. 19 years old and already having his first shot at the IWS title. folks, this kid is going to be something special if he can just do something about that attitude and lack of heterosexuality.
Oh, man. Kevin Steen, for lack of better words, I guess, to agree with you.
Always time for a gay joke.
Oh, just leg sweep out from under him, lands on the back of his head twice. Kevin Steen, again, a great high flyer, a great technical. Oh, man. Just taken off his feet. I'm sorry, I was lost for words after that one.
You could see the force in those kicks of PCO, sending Kevin completely around 360 to land on his stomach. PCO's not fooling around, Guppy.
What a main event here for Know Your Enemies 2004. Last year at this time, we saw the Green Phantom lose his heavyweight strap in a colossal 2 out of 3 falls main event scenario against Drew Onyx. Now this time around, 1 year later, 2 men battling that have such heat, that have such disrespect for each other after certain scenarios have taken place. And look at that. That's a perfect example. Would you have ever seen PCO crotch Kevin Steen in any other match? No. It's because of this whole history that's happening between them now.
Well, PCO angry enough to drive Kevin taint first into the turnbuckle. Into the ring post. And you're right. Know Your Enemies. What a main event. What a show we've had, Guppy. My match included, which is a rarity. Great tonight. One show all around, possibly one of our finest shows to date. And could you pass me my pants, please? I'm gonna get dressed.
Yeah, seriously, you're still wearing your wrestling gear from your great victory over Fred by disqualification, I might add. There's Kevin, only gonna become the champion right there. PCO, the wise veteran, kicks out and comes back with that clothesline, almost instinct-like. PCO looking to capture the victory. Another count. Peanut in position. Absolutely. Know Your Enemies 2004 is a great blueprint as to what the IWS can offer. And again, syndicatewrestling.com, Smart Mark Video. We've said it enough times on this broadcast. Check for yourself. The wrestling is spoken for it. We don't need to put it over anymore.
Absolutely not. Kevin Steen raking the...
Whoa.
Both men over the top of the floor, and PCO skins the cat. A la Shawn Michaels with a
la Ricky Steamboat almost.
I said Shawn Michaels, damn it, except with a better haircut.
Okay, that's true. I won't deny that, but you cannot deny the athleticism right there. A nip-up from a 245-pounder. He's coming off the ropes, and Kevin Steen just whacks him in a chair to counter. Perhaps a plancha. Oh, my God.
And Kevin Steen hitting PCO twice with a chair, and then hitting the floor with the chair as well. And the floor did nothing to deserve that.
PCO just caught steel in the cranium. One thing we should point out, this has been a wrestling match. Although the IWS Championship is also a prestigious hardcore championship in North America, that was perhaps the first weapon used in this match. Third and deciding fall here, pinfalls or submissions will be decided, and PCO just with a straight DDT, Kevin bouncing from that mat to the floor.
Unbelievable move, and PCO's taking out the furniture. I thought it might happen eventually. Kevin Steen, Mr. Wrestling. PCO, Mr. Tables and Ladders and Chairs and Tables, and one of those promos that he cut. That was fantastic.
Well, listen, PCO, I'll tell you, like I said, it goes back to what I said earlier on. Repackaged. This guy could go hardcore. He's been in the ECW. He knows what he has to do to make a name for himself. Not that he already has it, but to show that he's just not a sidekick or an eye-patched pirate. No kidding aside, folks, we're being 100% serious as Kevin Steen set up on that table, and look at that. Look at that somersault to the floor. Look at that hardcore. Look at that agility.
Well, PCO looks as if he might be regretting that, putting his body on the line. But that just goes to show you, he's not a cruiserweight, folks. He doesn't weigh 145 pounds. That's 245 pounds coming down full force on Kevin Steen. PCO wants to teach Kevin Steen a little bit about respect.
That's a great point to make. Let me ask you this. Obviously, PCO will do what it takes to keep the IWS Championship. But is he putting the title at stake to teach his former student a lesson, perhaps?
Well, PCO asking Sexy Eddie in a very funny little segment with myself involved to give up his title shot so that he could face Kevin Steen. And may I add, for the first time tonight, our fans, as loyal as they are, have pushed the barricade closer so that they can still bang on our ring apron. You gotta give it to alcohol, folks. It makes people do great things.
I've always said the alcohol in the IWS equals ratings. Don't necessarily try that at home if you're not 18. If you are, keep on drinking, folks.
Underage drinking, I support it.
That does not necessarily express the views of the IWS. But look at this. PCO and Kevin on the top rope with an exploder superplex beef.
As impressive as a move as I've seen in the past 10 minutes, Guppy.
Honestly. But that just takes what I'm showing. Nobody, I'm telling you, on the level of PCO with this experience is pulling off maneuvers in this day and age. And why? This is PCO's first major heavyweight championship that he considers the most prestigious to his heart. As he's looking for the coup de grace, there's the cannonball on Kevin Steen. We're going to have our champion retain the title, and he kicks out, baby, kicked out.
Kevin Steen impressing even me on that one. I gotta say, Guppy, Kevin Steen showing a lot of heart and a snazzy haircut to kick out of that one.
Kevin Steen kicking out of Le Cannonball. That's the first time I've seen anyone kick out of it since he's been here.
Well, PCO looks confused for a minute, didn't know what to do, decided he's gonna go for another cannonball.
Kevin Steen is in that position. If he nails him with another one, Kevin Steen up, crotches violently on the top rope. PCO falls to that staging area. The ring is up against a hard wooden stage here around that scaffolding. But there's no countouts here, that's for sure.
No, referee Peanut just is gonna stand around and watch like an asshole.
That's what we pay him for.
Good man, nice shoes. Kevin Steen, Irish whip on the ramp.
Very innovative into a spine buster slam. IWS wrestlers always using what they have around them to their advantage.
Kevin Steen, what's he going for here? Guppy, you're the expert. Call something.
It looked like he was going for a Boston Crab.
Gave the finger.
Wait a minute. We've seen Kevin use the sharpshooter, but what an insult. PCO catching a sharpshooter, well documented on PCO's feud with Bret the Hitman Hart. Legendary matches in 1995, and by legendary, I gotta say almost underrated from that point. No one saw what PCO was able to do, and Kevin Steen almost a slap in the face to his former mentor.
Well, some people may look down on those matches and remember only PCO's eye patch and Jerry curl. But wrestling historians like yourself, I don't watch wrestling, will remember some great wrestling by PCO and Bret the Hitman Hart.
Look at PCO, obviously insulted. Got his win, got some adrenaline, absolutely insulted. And I gotta point out, both Kevin Steen and PCO are using Bret Hart's version as the left leg is through the crucifix, or I should say the grapevine, and stretching back with the right. Everybody else, as you'll point out in wrestling, uses it with the right leg. It's Bret the Hitman Hart that used that to perfection, and both of these individuals are paying homage to that.
I was going to point that out if you hadn't, Guppy, but thanks. Kevin Steen made it to the ropes, thankfully for him. This match going on, and both men not wanting to give up so easily, which makes sense considering it's a title match. I'm out of things to say.
This is for the IWS title as a roll-up there. PCO almost lost the belt. Kevin Steen misses a clothesline, and both men down. As you said, third fall here. It's a sudden death scenario. All one man has to do is get that 1, 2, 3, and they'll walk away with this championship. Will it be retention by PCO, or will we have perhaps our youngest and possibly most arrogant IWS champion as Kevin Steen is dumped onto that hard stage area yet again?
Kevin Steen looking to be in a tremendous amount of pain. At this stage in the match, a move like that has got to take away just about everything you have left. PCO better be quick to capitalize.
Kevin Steen, absolutely, like I said, better have some type of contingency plan, because it looks like he's trying to hit all his offense. What's PCO doing here?
Oh, airplane spin coming up.
Oh, falling roll through slam from a fireman's carry position. Did you hear that thud?
I did. I myself thought the airplane spin was coming. Proved wrong yet again by PCO.
PCO.
Where's he going now?
He's got. Whoa, wait a second here. What's he coming around here for?
PCO back to the floor, looking for more furniture perhaps as Peanut checks on Kevin Steen.
Kevin Steen absolutely knocked out, it looks like, from that maneuver.
Oh, PCO's got some broom boys doing his work for him. That's the mark of a true champion, folks.
They're getting at a table.
PCO, does he want help setting up the table too? Oh, wait.
Kevin Steen here is on that stage here, not moving. PCO could be this could be not. What is going on?
Uh-oh.
Where are all these
Another
tables coming from?
tables galore as you see some sort of stagehand, possibly another broom boy on stage handing the table. The fans just want to see something crazy here.
That table appears to have been broken. I am getting word that that table is broken when that legs is up.
And Kevin Steen has attacked the fan. Kevin
What?
Steen attacking somebody.
That was that stagehand you're referring to. Why is Kevin Steen attacking him? Wait a minute, that table is set up, propped on that barricade.
Oh, PCO went for the airplane spin yet
He
again.
was going for that fall forward slam as he just stood on the stage, but Kevin has him up on his shoulders, and you just hear that crunch.
Well, that is over 400 pounds coming crashing through that table. Guppy, I can tell you myself, I would not have taken that bump.
Close to 500 pounds to correct you. That was all impact. That table barely had any give. It's like all that weight, as you saw, there's you pointed out, fans pushing that barricade forward to bang to show their appreciation on the IWS ring. Even our ringside bell ringer moved out of the way for that one.
Oh, everyone's watching this, Guppy. I can promise you all the boys in the back are checking it out. No one's gotten dressed and gone home. No one's gone out for beers. No one's feeling each other up backstage like in other locker rooms. Everyone is watching this spectacular main event, and it looks to me like Kevin Steen might put this one away.
Sexy Eddie knows certainly one individual watching this match because he will meet the winner next month of the IWS Championship match, and another perfect, picture-perfect 450 splash. PCO kicking out again. Look at that spectacular maneuver from Kevin Steen. 450 splash, hit its mark. X marks the spot.
Was that an X joke referring to PCO's former personality?
In NWA TNA, sure.
I'm going to pretend you didn't say that comment, Guppy, and I'm going to go ahead and point out that Kevin Steen has the IWS title belt in his hands. Perhaps he wants to look at it and admire it for all its beauty.
I think he might taste the victory as PCO had to have been knocked out from that forward rolling slam onto the tables, onto the concrete, but showing his experience. Oh, just kicked him right in the chest.
PCO and Kevin. Oh, Kevin, low blow, shot right to the codpiece.
This is it. This is what he did at Final Valentine. But he is package pile drove. Pierre Carl will land on that belt.
That
He's
can't
not
be
moving.
good. Kevin just better get the pin.
Hold on a second.
Kevin's got the pin. PCO kicked out.
Hold on. I'm going up to ring. I'm going up to ringside. This doesn't look good.
PCO kicking out, but now not seeming to move. Referee Peanut checking on him. Guppy's gone down to the ring. But well, PCO doesn't look good. I can't even make jokes now. Last month, Kevin Steen put PCO in the hospital, and PCO, those sounds don't sound good. This is... Well, Peanut's asking for help. What's up there, Brian the Guppy, finally in the ring. Guppy has no medical expertise, folks, I'll tell you that much. We've got a replay of the package pile driver. Beautiful move. Right on his head, unprotected. Folks, I don't know how PCO kicked out of that one, but he's not in good shape. We have... All right, Manny's in the ring. I'm going to go look. Shit.
You know what? Guppy, you can kiss my ass. I don't care if you're the booker and you're upset because I'm ever main wrestler. You know what? You don't want to make it official? I don't care. Ladies and gentlemen, your new IWS Heavyweight Champion, Steen.
I don't care what Kevin Steen says. He's not the champion. PCO, thank God he's okay. My God, that punk almost ruined Know Your Enemies. My gosh, I'm sorry, folks. I'm sorry you had to see that. I'm absolutely sorry. I apologize on behalf of the IWS. Beef, I'm sorry PCO hit you, but he's got Kevin. I don't care. There's a freaking cannonball on that goddamn punk. He's gonna take it here. Yes, yes, yes. PCO wins.
The IWS champion, Pierre Carl Moonlands.
BPCO taught that punk a